Yeah, you know, there's that popular saying that if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And we don't want to have to repeat what happened in 1919, but it feels like the world today is leading us in that sort of direction. More and more there's inequality, and there is a growing wage gap between the wealthiest and the rest of us, and workers are looking for finding their voice. In 1919, workers drew a line in the sand, and they invited others to stand with them to say that we want to stand up for fairness, for union recognition, for living wages. And that call was answered, not just by unionized workers, but the majority of non-unionized workers stood up and said, that's a rallying cry we can get behind. And it was an amazing demonstration of solidarity. For 6 weeks, people went without a paycheck to rely on each other, to work together, and to stand up against powers and authority that were working against them. That's something we need to be proud of and remember. So a chance to learn about our history, to talk about what happened back then. Why did people come together, and how did that fight play out is something worth doing. So we've taken the steps to find every way we can to share that story, whether it's through a graphic novel or a movie or a play or a conference, or several books are being published, a gala dinner, free community concerts. We're making it as accessible as possible for people to get a taste of what life was like back in 1919 and what that strike was all about, and hopefully that will spark their interest to learn more. You know, in 1919, those in power made it pretty clear right away that the way to break the power of workers was to sow division between them. And some of what they did that was to call anyone not Britain born the enemy alien, that they weren't true Canadians, that they weren't, the irony that they ignored the Indigenous workforce and people entirely isn't lost on me today, but certainly seemed to be lost on them then. But they tried very hard to sow divisions between cultural lines, to economic lines, to wherever they could find some divide to say, well, this group, you're okay, but it's those ones that are after what you've got, was something that was tried in 1919. And because people were having lots of conversations with one another, and because they were relying on working together, by and large, we didn't buy into it. But we see those exact same tactics today by governments, saying new immigrants are the problem. They're not. In fact, our economy and our society depends on new immigrants coming and being a vibrant part of our culture and heritage together.